Selectmen of the Town of Hartford, Connecticut, hereby notifies all electors and citizens entitled to vote at the town meeting in said Town of New Hartford, Connecticut, that the annual budget meeting will be held on Tuesday, April 26, 2011 at 7 p.m. at the Senior Center / Meeting Room in the New Hartford Town Hall, 530 Main Street, in New Hartford for the following purposes. 1. To consider an act upon the town budget recommended by the Board of Finance for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2011. 2. Pursuant to Section 7-7 of the General Statutes of Connecticut, provision of 1958 as amended, to adjourn said budget meeting at its conclusion and to submit item number 1 on the call of this meeting to be voted upon using voting tabulators on Tuesday, May 3rd, 2011, between the hours of 6 a.m. and 8 p.m. Electors residing in the voting district number 1 shall vote at the New Hartford Town Hall, 530 Main Street, New Hartford. Electors residing in voting district number 2 shall vote at the South End Fire District, 20 Anthony Road, New Hartford. Voters qualified to vote at town meeting who are not electors shall vote at their respective polling places. Absentee ballots will be available from the town clerk, 530 Main Street, New Hartford, Connecticut, and will be counted at the respective polling places. The question to be voted upon shall be placed on the ballots as: shall the budget of the town of New Hartford, including general government budget, New Hartford Board of Education, and capital expenditures, recommended by the Board of Finance for the fiscal year commencing July 1st, 2011, be accepted. Voters approving the question will vote yes, and those opposing the question will vote no. Dated at New Hartford, Connecticut, this 18th day of April 2011. Dated at the Chairman for Selectmen, Tom Claybart Selectman, Bruce Greswick Selectman, and Donald Plant Town Clerk. I will now read the return of posting. Return of posting and publication of notice of annual budget meeting notice of referendum. I, Daniel B. Chairman for Selectmen of Town of New Hartford, Connecticut, hereby certify that I caused a copy of the foregoing notice of annual budget meeting / notice of referendum to be posted on the town signpost on April 19, 2011, and also published in the Hartford Current, a newspaper published in Hartford, Connecticut, and having a general circulation in the town of New Hartford on Tuesday, April 19, 2011, dated this 26th day of April 2011, and adjourned for selection. Item number 1. To consider an act upon the town budget recommended by the Board of Finance for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2011. The Board of Selectmen, in accordance with Connecticut General Statute 7-7, have removed item number 1 from the call of this meeting and adjourned such vote on the budget to a referendum to be held on Tuesday, May 3rd, 2011, between the hours of 6 a.m. and 8 p.m. In accordance with Section 7-6 of the Connecticut General Statutes of Amendment, only elector of town or citizen of the United States of age 18 years or more, jointly or severally, was liable to the town for taxes assessed against him based on an assessment of not less than $1,000 on the last completed grand list of the town of New Hartford, or who would have been so liable if not entitled to an exemption as a blind person or a veteran, or as a parent or surviving spouse of a veteran who would be entitled to vote. The town meeting would be entitled to vote at the referendum. So what that means is item number 1, according to state statute, has been removed by the Board of Selectmen. Therefore, there is no discussion because this item does not exist at this town meeting. Therefore, I will move on to item number 2. Yes, ma'am.
I want to open the floor for discussion.
On what exactly? What is your point of order? What are you trying to discuss?
I'm trying to discuss the budget as we are supposed to, according to Section 7-3.4, which prescribes how a budget goes through the different steps before going to vote.
Okay. While I, as a citizen, may or may not agree with you, actually I do. In accordance with state statute, the Selectmen also have the legal authority to remove this item from the agenda. Therefore, it does not exist at this meeting, and questions on that item that do not exist are not germane to the meeting, ma'am. So therefore, I must move on to item number 2.
Even though by removing it, you are breaking a state statute?
In accordance with this issue of 7-7, the Selectmen are not violating law, and I'm not going to discuss this further.
Point of
based on the letter that was received in 1992 from John Pickard, we had the option to discuss. We can't vote, but we can discuss. Have they removed discussion?
Returning to what the selectmen have done. In accordance with 7-7, they have the legal authority to remove that item from the agenda. Therefore, at this time, I am not going to entertain any more questions. The issue is closed as far as this moderator is concerned. Thank you for your time. Therefore, we move on to item number 2, which is, may I have a motion to approve the following. Resolved in accordance with this notice to hold a referendum on Tuesday, May 3rd, 2011, between the hours of 6 a.m. and 8 p.m. using machine vote to vote on the following question. Shall the budget of the town of New Hartford include general government budget, New Hartford Board of Education, and capital expenditures recommended by the Board of Finance for discussion commencing July 1st, 2011 be accepted? Voters approving the question will vote yes, and those opposing the question will vote no. Would someone like to move that motion?
So moved.
Would
you like to second?
Second, Simon Town Road.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded to move the budget vote to referendum. Is there any discussion on that? Any discussion? All right, we're going to move the vote. All those in favor of moving the budget vote to referendum on May 3rd, 2011, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed?
Opposed.
One. Can you make that, note that for the record, please? There's no other business on the agenda. May I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
So moved.
One.
Town
Do we have a second?